Hello everyone. I thought I'd take a bit of a break from Premier Cup and play some Master League sets. I don't normally do very well in Open Master, but then I don't do very well in Premier Cup. They're all a bit... I don't know quite what it is. I think my usual trick of just mucking around and playing stupid stuff doesn't actually work in a very focused, narrow meta. But anyway, my team today is Kyogre on the lead, we've got Groudon, and we've got Dialga. Now, of note here, my Dialga is a best buddy, however it doesn't have that all-important 15 attack stat. The reason that's very important is because when you go up against other Dialga, a 15 attack versus a 15 defense means you do 1 extra damage with Dragon Breath. The breakpoints in this game work like comparison between two stats, and the numbers rounded down. So normally your charge moves might do 1 more damage, 1 less damage, doesn't really matter very much. Occasionally you hit a fast move breakpoint, and then it makes a huge difference, because every Dragon Breath, every turn, every half second, you do 1 more damage. That's another 20% damage output. That's huge. Actually, no, it's 25% damage output. It's a very big difference to the Dialga matchup, which you'll see in this set a few times, because I do actually hit the breakpoint against people, and they hit the breakpoint against me. And rather than a fairly even fight between a 40-48 and a 40-80, say, that's not very much CP difference, that's 32 CP, but it makes a very big difference to the fight outcome. So, my Dialga is called Disappointment as a result, because I powered it up before I knew about this. And I thought I'd bring it out again anyway, just to see how it played. Now the trick is, if you want to use a Dialga that isn't your, at least 15 attack, 14 defense and 12 HP, you can't go head to head with another Dialga with it, basically, because you'll lose quite hard. But that's okay, because it is still a real beast. It still beats pretty much everything else in the meta, short of, well, I guess Groudon. So, it is still worth using. It's just not quite as good as it should be. So with that in mind, I'm just going to hop into some matches. Right, first match up, we're going to... There we go. Rain in the background. I'm playing on a rainy day. So I wasn't in my favourite spot this time of on a bench between two Pokestops. I find that's quite helpful for... right, so speed that up a little bit. Oh, look at a bit of loading lag. There we go. So, into Dialga. This is a bad matchup for us. So what we do is we just let it throw its charge move and wait to switch. So, incoming charge move. This is likely an Iron Head. And sure enough, there it is. Doesn't quite take us out. We've got charge move energy loaded. We switch to our own Dialga. Now, they've got 40-62. But looking at it, they're going down a lot faster than we are. So I think we're hitting the breakpoint against them, and they're not hitting it against us. Our 15 attack means that our 15 defense means if they don't have a 15 attack, they also don't hit the breakpoint. So in comes Togekiss. This is not actually a terrible matchup because we've got Iron Head on our side, and we are actually neutral to charm damage. It's about the only dragon that is. So there we go. And double Iron Heads. So either they're going to spin a shield here, or it's going to take out the Togekiss. Okay, there we go. They're down a shield, we're down a Dialga. That's fine by me. We can bring in the Kyogre back and go straight into the Thunderbolts. If they don't switch, and I don't think they did. They did, but it was another Kyogre, so that's okay. And this is where I botched my switch, because I really shouldn't have switched here. Because obviously water is super effective to Groudon, but I did anyway. It was a bit daft. Anyway, so Fire Punch is just about enough, and we're going to get to it before they get to a Surf. So... yeah, a bit of a blunder, but it does mean we're aligned with the Togekiss, and I think the Kyogre-Togekiss matchup is a slightly better one. There's not much in it though. Our ground damage doesn't do anything to a flying type, but the Fire Punches still hurt. We're going to let it go down though, because we think the Kyogre's better play. Ancient Power incoming, and we might get to another Fire Punch. No, not quite. But that's okay, because we've got Kyogre with some shields against the Togekiss, and we're not going to make it to the Surf. Oh well. Good game to my opponent. I don't think I played well with that switch, but well, that's the way it is. I shouldn't have switched into a water type. With a bit more health on the Groudon, it probably would have won. So, next up we've got Kyogre leading into Melmetal. Now, this is a good matchup. They do sometimes have Thunderbolt on them, which will more or less one hit kill you, but otherwise you're doing neutral to them with your water damage, and you're hitting them quite hard. And you can take a superpower, you can take a Rock Slide. They go to the Giratina, so that's good. We go straight into Dialga, because this is a great matchup for us. We can afford to take a charge move from them, and they can't afford to take a charge move from us. So that means we either win, or we get a shield. Either's good. So we're just going to nibble away at them with Dragon Breath, and farm them down a bit. We're going to get a little bit of energy lead, and then drop the Iron Head. This means that we've got at least a bit of chance to get to another one, but I think our health too low to really manage that. In comes their Melmetal. It's going to take us out, that's fine. Hoping that it's going to do enough pressure. Yeah, good. So they had to throw their charge move. It's likely a superpower. No, it's a rock slide. Okay, well, either way, they used their energy. We're going to bring back in the Kyogre and start surfing at them. Now, surf isn't a great move, but Kyogre is a monster, and it with that 4100 CP, and so it hits quite hard. We're going to let this through because either it's a superpower and they'll debuff themselves, or it's a rock slide and it won't take us out. And there we go. We're going to get to another surf. Just about. Over tap to over farm, perhaps not a good idea in this situation, but they didn't finish us. So we've got their last shield, we're up 2 shields, and we've got a metal type in front of us to farm down with a Groudon. Now their right call right now is to switch out quickly, which they did, into their own Groudon, but, well, I've got 2 shields and an energy lead, and they're basically just toast now. There is literally nothing they can do, so, apart from wait. And wait. And there's the earthquake. Right, there we go. We're going to Fire Punch, and we're saving up a bit of energy because if we get the Fire Punch loaded, we can get 2 Fire Punches, and we can Fire Punch the Groudon, and we can then Fire Punch the Metal in the back, just in case it's got something sneaky ready for us. I don't think it would have done any real damage, but it's a good choice anyway if you've got the opportunity. You get a bit more farming in before throwing the finishing move. That way, whatever comes in next, you've got a bit more of an edge against. So, next up. Right, Kyogre leading into Groudon. So this is great for us. Water does super effective. They bring in their own Dialga. This is a 4090. Now this is the problem I said. If you can see this, their Dragon Breath is hitting us quite hard, and ours isn't doing a great deal to them. We're going down faster. That's okay though. So what we're going to do is we're just going to... There you go. See that huge difference in the Dragon Breath? I mean, even with the Iron Head landing, we're going straight into a Dracometeor. They'll probably shield it like that, but we have at least got a shield from our Kyogre getting eaten by their Kyogre. And then we can align the Groudon with their Dialga. Sorry, Dialga. And there we go. Get the shield out for the Iron Head, and we're just going to sort of nibble away at them and farm them down. Get a nice big energy lead, and throw the Fire Punch. And this will finish them, or get the shield. Even better, we've got a shield. So we're going to go straight into another one. And they switched on us to get a Togekiss out. But that probably means they've got moves loaded on the Dialga, so we've got to watch out for that coming back. But that's okay, we've got Togekiss, and we're just going to nibble away at it. Fire Punch will do fine against Togekiss. And the Earthquake doesn't do great, but we are going to have to think about switching any moment now. Or maybe I'm not. No, it looks like I'm going to lag instead. Okay, so we'll just have a brief interlude whilst we wait for the game to start responding again. Should I sing to you? No. How do you like the music? I think the background music's working quite well, don't you? Anyway, so there we go, lagging out into the Kyogre, and just in time for them to throw a move at us, and so they want to shield. We don't shield against Togekiss because most of their moves don't do super effective against us, and most of them don't actually heal all that hard. Right, so it's not looking good. We have got energy loaded, and they've got a very low health Dialga, so we're going to shield against that, and we're just going to hope and pray that whatever they've got in the back, we can take out with 2 surfs. And it's Groudon, so we have a chance here. First surf going through, look at that, wham. Second surf going through. Wasn't looking too good, but I think with anything else in the back we'd have been in trouble, but it went our way this time. So, next up. We've got Kyogre into Groudon again, so another good lead. They're going to switch on us almost certainly. Yep, there we go, and it's into Mewtwo. So Mewtwo is one of the best safe switches there is in the league, because it does a lot of damage with Psystrike, even when it's resisted. And it's got Flamethrower. Well, okay. I was actually expecting maybe a Psystrike or a Focus Blast, but okay. So the Flamethrower means we're going to get to an Iron Head. We're going to Iron Head them. They can't really afford not to shield this because Dialga hits so hard. And we can either shield stay in or not, and I'm choosing not to shield. The reason being that Psystrike, well, doesn't quite finish us. We can nibble away at the Mewtwo. I'm not entirely happy about that, but I do actually manage to take it down with just Dragon Breath. So then in comes Groudon and takes us out as expected, but that means they're now aligned with our Kyogre. Good game. My opponent can see it. Next up, we're going into... How do you think about running time? How long do you like your videos to be? I mean, I've got the analytics to say people sort of watch for about 5 to 10 minutes of the set, but how do you like it? Right, so Giratina lead, so we go straight into Dialga. Probably not the best choice. I probably should have gone into Groudon instead, but either way, Melmetal, we're going to go straight into Dracometeor. This is a hope that you don't shield it, because it's a silly move because I'm switch locked. I debuffed my attack, but I have landed the nuke, so that's okay. I'm just going to let Dialga go down now. Let them use up their energy. I'm going to be able to bring in the Groudon and farm it down. That's fine by me. And double debuffed, so that's great. And they're still switch locked, so we're just going to let this charge move land because they just lowered their attack twice. There we go. Superpower does next to nothing now, and we farm them for some nice juicy energy. And in comes Giratina. So we're going to go straight into the Earthquake, and this might get a shield off them. Yeah, okay. So Fire Punch doesn't do a lot against dragons, so it's dangerous to bait with it, but it is definitely the cheaper move, so it's a bit of a head game at this point. This isn't a clear winner for us, but it's not as bad as the Kyogre matchup, where all our moves are not very effective. So Fire Punch going through, hope to get that other shield. No, not today. But right, so we're going to shield this because, as I said, our Kyogre matchup is not great. And there's a Shadow Ball, great, good call. So Earthquake now. Let's see if they want to go into that last shield. I'm going to get unlucky and they're going to shield this, aren't they? Yep. Well played by my opponent. They called the shield correctly. And we're just going to go for a Fire Punch, get some more chip damage, but they're not going to make it. I think this might even be an Ominous Wind to finish this off. Yep. And we still get the Fire Punch, but the Dialga comes in, and yeah, I think this is a good game at this point. But we're going to play it out, because, you know, critics for wimps. The joy of Kyogre is basically, because there's no grass in the meta really, and hardly any electric, there aren't actually very many things that just take it out quickly. It doesn't win hard against anything, but it doesn't lose hard against a lot of things. Obviously, Dialga is one of its worst matchups, and then it Dracometeors because you've got no shields. A good game. Clear win for my opponent, that one. I think in hindsight, if I'd switched to a different order and brought in the Kyogre first, I might have had the Dialga in the back to deal with the Giratina, which might have worked better. So their Dialga is out to play. They've got a 40-29, so that's important to note because it means we can be confident that our Dialga is going to hit them quite hard. It's a Dracometeor, so they won't hit kill us. Okay, so we bring in our own Dialga anyway because if they switch out, they get the line with the Groudon. And okay, so we've got Groudon and they've got a Steel type. So Melmetal versus Groudon is great for us. We're just going to let it throw stuff. Superpower, yeah. Okay, go build up to an Earthquake and probably float. And another Superpower comes through, I think, probably. Yes, good. So double debuff now, that's great. That's one of the downsides of Superpower is if it's not very effective or just neutral, it doesn't actually do a huge amount. And look at that, that's just a Fire Punch doing that. Right, we are going to shield now because even though this is double debuffed already, that's our last health. So we want to keep that energy lead. And okay, it's Kyogre. So we switch quickly to our own Kyogre, our own Dialga. They bring theirs out. They've got the shield lead, so that's good, but at the same time they're going down faster due to Dragon Breath, so they can't afford not to shield this Iron Head, and we're going to go for another one. Tough choice at this point, but we know what we've got in the back is a thing we want to fight with the Dialga, and we'll have an energy lead here, because again, that break point goes in our favour in a big way in this fight. So, and there's Kyogre. Surf's going to sting, it's probably Surf. Yeah, that's Surf. Okay, so stings a bit, as you can see. It does a decent amount, and we're just going to go straight into the Dracometeor. Hopefully they just assume it's a bait, and goodbye. I think we could have switched and Earthquaked if they had shielded it, so that was the alternate plan. Right, what we've got next? Kyogre leading into Dialga again. So this is a 40-24, so again, probably not quite hitting that break point. This is just the slice of the meta I'm in at the moment. As I say, I've had a bad run for this part of the season. So after their charge move, we'll switch into our own. And as you can see, look at that, they're going down quite a lot faster than we are. That's the break point again. That's why it's very important. Iron Head comes in, we'll shield that. Basically, we can just finish them off with Dragon Breath and build up to a lot of energy. There we go. Nice generous pile of energy. Bringing Mewtwo right now when I've got 2 Iron Heads ready is a bold move because it is going to cost you both your shields to get to your Side Strike. First one going through, and second one going through. At this point, I'm probably going to let Dialga go because then I don't spin the shield, and the Side Strike will finish me. But that's okay. Okay, so we're equalising our shields. At this point, well, I can shield stay in or I can not. I think at this point I will just let the Side Strike land. There we go. So now we've got a farmable Mewtwo, and we're just going to nibble away at that with waterfalls and build up some energy on the Kyogre. And in comes a Giratina, so we're going to go quickly into our Groudon because that's the only thing that's got a decent matchup here. That was a bit quick, but can't really risk a Shadow Ball, and it wasn't Shadow Ball. Okay. I love the bait games in this. Right, so we're just going straight to Earthquakes because the idea is that if they shield, great. If they don't, well, look, taking off a load of health. Now we can Fire Punch them. Fire Punch is resisted, but it should do enough here. So they've got to shield. And sure enough, they do. We've still got plenty of health left. They're going to be going for a Shadow Ball. This will likely take us out. But we've still got the Kyogre with some loaded energy, and even not very effective. Ominous Wind. Now that's a brave play. I think they might have been boost fishing there, because that's perhaps the only way they're going to win this. Good game to my opponent. Yes, do you like the running time? Do you like longer recordings or shorter ones? I tend to try for sort of 10 minutes plus or minus, but I think I've got a few more sets in today. That means I've got a bit longer. The lag's not helping either. So, leading into a Shadow Mewtwo. Wow, okay, so this is going to be tough, and it looks like I lagged right on the first move, and oh, this is not looking good. Okay, so they switched, so we switched. Dialga against Giratina is good for us. We've got a good strong lead. Our Dragon Breath hits them super effective, and their Shadow Claw hits us for neutral. We nibble them away with the Dragon Breath and get them nice and low, and then go for the Iron Head. Get the shield, that's good, so we should do the same again. At this point we can decide whether we want to stay in. It's likely Shadow Ball, and it was. Okay, so it's done a lot of damage, but that's fine. We are still going to win the switch. That's a good place to be. Their own Dialga comes in, it's a 40-11, but that's okay because we get Groudon on that one. And that will do, well, we shield this because this is our good match, and we don't really want to go down too fast. Kyogre doesn't do too well against Dragon types, so we'll go for a Fire Punch, just try and get that shield, and we don't, but that's okay. We'll build up again and try the same again. Fire Punch again, see if we can get that shield. Give me a shield. They're probably saving it for the Mewtwo though, so that's okay. No, they're not. Okay, so we switch quickly to Kyogre and we throw a Surf. It's a bit bold, but it seems to work. It'll take it out quite successfully. There we go. And we've got a low health Kyogre and a Mewtwo there. This is not going to be too good because I don't think the Fire Punch will be enough to take it out. And their Side Strike in return will definitely do so. Yeah, I don't think we'd have got to Earthquake either. So, good game to my opponent. Shadow Mewtwo is a monster. I know in theory the Sims say it doesn't perform as well, but it certainly stings a lot when it does land. It's one of the things with PvPoke Sims is you've got to be careful about what it's actually telling you. It only ever rates the one shield, bait always works scenario, and actually sometimes things work better in 2 shields or no shields and don't get rated as highly. As an example, things like, well, Kyogre actually doesn't win a lot of 1 shield matchups with all the dragons in the meta, but it's bulky and it doesn't go down hard either. So it does mean we can soak up their charge move, get some energy lead, and force a switch like this. So they're going to Togekiss against Dialga. I think that's a bit of a brave play actually, but we'll see. It does take chunks off us anyway. I mean, Charm hitting for neutral is still a problem, and they're going to go for their move. So we're going to let it land. That way we keep the shield advantage, and we'll bring our... Oh, no, not quite. Very nearly got to an Iron Head again, but that's okay. We're just going to go straight for the Surf on the Kyogre. Probably should have gone with Thunder, but either way, I think that'll be enough to do a lot of damage to it. And there we go. We're going to finish off. Yes, and build up to another Surf. Great. So whatever's coming in is going to get a Surf no matter what, because we won't make it to a Thunder no matter what. So incoming Dialga, throw the Surf. As you can see, not very effective, but still takes a decently sized chunk out of it. And in comes Groudon. So there we go. That's good. We're going to preserve some shields because Iron Head does hit for neutral and it hurts. But we are going to farm down the Dialga, get a nice big energy lead, and they've got a Giratina in the back. Well, okay, I suppose it is fairly common. Earthquake does okay against this, and landing that one means we were in a road to victory. We had to land one no matter what, because Fire Punch doesn't do a lot of good. At this point we might be able to get them with the Fire Punch, and they baited us with Ominous Wind. That's bad, because that means that they've now got a shield, and they've got to get a Shadow Ball to finish us. Fire Punch going through, we're just going to go straight for another Fire Punch, and hope that's enough. I don't think it is though, not at this range. Not quite, no. Okay, so we need to get to another Fire Punch, and they're just going to finish us with a Shadow Ball. There's no way to stop that. Good game to my opponent. So yes, this team does okay against, you know, the sort of Melmetal and Dialgas of the meta. It doesn't do too well in the double dragon teams. Right, so Kyogre's going to lead into Kyogre now. This is an interesting matchup actually, because we're playing chicken with Thunder basically. Build up to a Thunder and either throw it immediately or throw a Surf to bait them. I tend to go with the Thunder first, just because, well, either it lands we get, or we don't get, or we get a shield, and either's good. Now at this point we're in the same situation, so we have to guess for ourselves, and it was a Surf. Well, so they win that bait basically. That means they've got to a Thunder now, and so we pretty much have to shield if we want to stay in. That's bad for us. Yeah, there we go, there's the Thunder. So, but in return we can get Thunder them, and either we get that last shield off them, or here we go, Thunder. Yep, okay, equal shields. We're both down to no shields. That's not great, but I think we're stealing the lead slightly, and we get to our Surf slightly ahead. We'll win the CMP tie, I think. I can't quite tell what their stats are from their CP, but they are slightly lower than us, so that's okay. A Snorlax, well, Snorlax is great against Giratina, but we don't have one, so we don't really have to worry about this too much. I'm going to let it take down the Kyogre and bring in Dialga. Now, the thing we've got to watch out for here is that Snorlax does sometimes have some nuke moves, which will be quite nasty. And well played to my opponent, they switched beautifully on the Dracometeor to catch it with a Togekiss. And as you can see, even the massive damage of a Dracometeor is not very effective against the Fairy type. Double not very effective, so 150 damage gets turned into nothing. They don't have to shield. So Fire Punch going through, which is going to build up again, and Fire Punch again, and take out the Togekiss hopefully. Right, there we go. So Snorlax certainly has some energy loaded, and we're just going to go straight into the Fire Punches because we're thinking they probably have double superpowers, double body slams, enough to double tap us anyway. So take Snorlax down quite low, see if they build up. They're not going to get away with that throwing, that's good. And it's a body slam, does bad enough to take us out. But well, let's see, do they have an earthquake? If it's a superpower, we're okay. If it's an earthquake, we're not. It's a superpower, great. So we survive that and take it out with Dragon Breath. Oh, mess around with my trimming my match. Okay. So Kyogre into Dialga. Again, not great for us. This is a 40-90, which means it's a best buddy hundo. That means that the only thing we have in our team that can take this out is the Groudon, because our Dialga will lose quite hard to it. We let them throw their first move, because now they've got some health down, and it's an Iron Head, that's good, we resist that, so we bring out our own Dialga. Now, they're doing us damage much faster, as you can see we're going down a lot quicker than they are, and we're just going to let them throw. This is a bit of a blunder on my part, I think, perhaps, but it does mean we get the Groudon alliance, so we'll see how that goes. And in comes a Mewtwo, that's okay, Mewtwo is going to need some shields, so we're just going to Fire Punch it and try and get some shields off it. We need to preserve our Groudon, because otherwise we have trouble against that Dialga, but it is quite low health now, so we're going to shield the Side Strike. And same again with the Fire Punch, and see if we can get that last shield. And a bit slow, they land on the Side Strike. I think we should have just got that to that first, but never mind. I overcharged a little bit, so probably my fault. There we go, Fire Punch going through. Great, and we're going to have to finish off Mewtwo with an Earthquake. Yes, we are. Jolly good. Get a bit of lag there, and goodbye. In comes Dialga, so we farm that down with the Mud Shots, even better. And there's a Melmetal in the back. Good game to my opponent. Thank you very much. Well played with the switch though. Right, next up. Groudon and Kyogre. Well, this is the battle of the Titans, and in comes their Dialga, 40-38. We are slightly higher than them, but they might still have that 15 attack that will punish us. It looks like the answer is no, they don't. We've got the breakpoints against them. You can just see that difference in health going down. If there's anything you take out of this video, it's to make sure your Dialga has 15 attack. It makes a huge difference, but it's still playable if you don't. I think there's a few scenarios where This Dialga does some good work, it just means it can't take on other Dialga, basically. And Iron Head, okay, well they take us out, but they're down a shield to do it, so that's okay. We're going to bring in the Kyogre and farm them down. Again, Waterfall resisted, but it does hit quite hard still, and their own Kyogre comes in. We're just going straight to Thunder, because they're down a shield, and I thought they might be a bit precious about burning a shield. So they're going to get to a Thunder first. This is probably a Thunder on their part, but we are just going to let it go. We've done our damage. Their Kyogre is... Okay, so they're baiting us. That was even braver. Or maybe they've got Blizzard, I guess. And their Groudon on the back means they're going to eat Surfs. So that's good for us. Get the shield there. We're going to switch quickly to our own because we're not going to get to another Surf. And we are just going to go straight into an Earthquake because obviously they've got no shield left. An Earthquake and a Fire Punch is enough to finish the job here. And we've got 2 shields against them. So there's just not really any way they can get through those. And my opponent realises that. Good game. Next up, Groudon Kyogre into Togekiss. A neutralist matchup. It hits us quite hard. We hit them quite hard. That's fine because it does mean it's not there to annoy our Dialga. Into Giratina. That's great. We go for a switch into our own Dialga, which means our Dragon Breath versus their Shadow Claws. They got the faster energy game, but we can afford to take a charge move. It's a Shadow Ball. It does hurt, but we can nibble away at it and get to the Iron Head, and either they shield or they go down. If they do shield, we can then decide whether we want to stay in or not. Okay, they've shielded. That means they're going to get to another move, and if we want to swing the switch, we can shield here, but we're not going to. We're just going to let it go. And bring in Kyogre again, and we're going for a rather cheeky farm down with Waterfalls, and successfully take it out without taking a Shadow Ball in return. And have a loaded energy for a Machamp in the back. Well, that's interesting. I haven't seen that in a while. I don't think it's going to go well for the Machamp because it's not going to like being surfed at. So not going to be like double surfs. Yep, that gets the shield. So should we go for a triple surf? No, we'll go for the Togekiss. Okay, so Togekiss we do okay against, yeah, but we aren't going to get to the Thunder, so we are just going to go straight into that surf. There we go, nice big chunk taken off that, and in comes Groudon. This is a bit tough because the Mud Shots do almost nothing against the Flying type, but we do have Fire Punch, so we throw some Fire Punching, and this should finish it off. And Machamp in the back, well, it's got no shields. Yeah, it wasn't going to end well for them, was it? Good against my opponent. Kyogre into Mewtwo. Now, this is an interesting one because you can win this one quite hard or you can lose it quite hard if you misplay. Now, the trick is with Side Strike is to actually probably let the first one land and only have match shields with them. Because if they've got a KG Mewtwo player, they'll throw the first Side Strike, get a shield off you, and then switch before you surf at them in return. So they've shielded, so we shield. And we're just going to nibble away. The next one comes in. We don't want to go down to shield deficit, so we let it land. Doesn't quite take us out, but we are probably going to have to finish off the Mewtwo and either get their shield or get the switch, and either's fine. Either's fine here. Surf, they don't want to shield either, and in comes Dialga. Okay, we win the switch, but that means we can now get the Groudon on them. That's great. And this is a nice solid win for us, and they know that, and they switch, but we won the switch, so we get to Dialga their Giratina, and Groudon their Dialga. That's all good. As before, we can take a hit. They can't take a hit, so we let it land. We throw the Iron Head after farming just a little bit. There's no point because their Dialga is going to nibble away at us. There we go. And 40-48 versus... Oh, they are going to get to the last one, so we're going to let it go down. In this way, we just get the Groudon with the shield and the energy lead, even better. So we farm down Giratina, and in comes Dialga into an Earthquake. Goodbye. It was a 40-90 as well, so the only thing that could have won against it was the Groudon, so winning the switch was important in that one. Kyogre into Mewtwo, Shadow Mewtwo. Now this is where I'm not so sure about the damage Side Strike does. I'm not so sure I can afford to let the first one land. That one came in a bit quick actually, but so it goes. Side Strike coming through, yep. And we shield that one. As you can see, we're taking some big chunks out of the Shadow, and they're going to have to shield this because otherwise they'll go down. And we'll nibble away again. Incoming another one, so we're going to shield that one. and hope to finish them off with waterfalls before they get to a third one. And they get to a third one. Damn it. I guess we find out if this will take us out. And the answer is yes. It does a huge amount of damage. No, not quite. Oh, wow, 1 hit point left. And we've got the surf loaded. That was just a stroke of luck. This is why sometimes those high IVs do make a difference, I guess. So, we brought in a Giratina. It's going to eat a surf. It's not going to do very much. But we won the switch. That's important because it means we can get the Dialga in. They're going to Shadow Ball us. We're going to let it land. Not fucking do anything otherwise because we haven't got any shields left. We're going to nibble away and throw the Iron Head. Now this is the problem here because we have let the shield advantage go, and it means they can throw all their nukes at us. And it's Groudon. This is not looking good actually, because if we can't get to an Iron Head against it, and we can't, I should probably switch immediately. That was my mistake, I think, here. If I switch immediately, then they'd still have had a slight energy lead and a shield lead, but at least I might have had a chance. At this rate, I think I've got to land a fire. I think I've only got to land an Earthquake actually. They're in range without taking them out, but they've still got the shield. So a Fire Punch to bait them, and I don't think a second Fire Punch will be quite enough to finish them off. So I need to get to my Earthquake, and they'll get there first. If I'd switched immediately, I possibly could have done that because they wouldn't have got the energy lead. Maybe it'd have been a tight matchup. So it goes. Well played to my opponent. There you go, 4 out of 5 set. I thought that was quite a good run. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not a big fan of Master League, I have to say, but it's done me okay, and I do enjoy playing with my big toys occasionally. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.